Hi there, it's Tracy from Nova Scotia Living, and I'm just going to show you how I grind up. I buy chunks of meat from the store, and I grind it up and make my own ground pork or beef or chicken or turkey or whatever, but today we're doing pork. So we'll start off quick by I'll show you what I use. I already took out the grinder and my scale and stuff, but I'll just show you. This is just a food grinder I got at the local Home Hardware. I've had that for years. I used to use it when I was making wine and things like that. I use freezer bags and a meat grinder. So if you folks have a meat grinder, read your directions. Assemble it how it's supposed to be assembled. That's what I did with mine. I also use gloves. I'm a fan of gloves. And I already took out 3 of the freezer bags and I already bent back the top, so after I'm done putting the ground meat in the bags, I can take the gloves off and flip it up and use my bare hands without getting my hands too dirty. So I'm going to get a knife and then we'll start cutting this up. Alright guys, I'm no butcher. I don't know how to cut bones out properly or anything like that. This had a big bone in it, and I'm not going to throw this away. I'll either freeze this, because I could bake this with something else, or and get the drippings off and make a gravy out of it, or something like that. Don't ever throw stuff like that away. Or if you do, throw it in your compost. Here in Nova Scotia, our provincial government comes around, well, it has a program that every other week, they come around and empty our big green bins, so nothing goes to waste here, which is really good. We also recycle on the opposite of those weeks, garbage and recycle day. So as you can see, I'm cutting it up in chunks. It's nothing uniform. I'm just cutting it up so it goes in the grinder easily. Mr. Mays is here. That grinder's not even plugged in or anything right now, so he's not going to fargo himself, if you know what I'm saying. Now this has quite a bit of fat, like a fat cap on it. I don't mind a little bit of fat because sausages and stuff needs a little bit of fat for flavor. I'm not going to use all of it, but I'm going to try to cut some of it off. I'll cut this one up and then I'll skip ahead for you guys because I still got another one there to cut up. And then the fun begins. So what I use ground pork for, I make my own homemade sausage breakfast patties. And they are so easy to do. I never realized how super simple they are. It just takes a handful of spices, and they're common ones. You probably have them in your cupboard anyways. Now I could grind all this meat and make a whole bunch of seasoned sausage patties and freeze them, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to grind them up and I'm going to divide it into 2 or 3 freezer bags. I don't have a whole lot of meat here, so I don't need a whole bunch of bags. But I put them in 2 pounds. That's what the scale's for. So that's often what a recipe calls for, 2 pounds of ground pork when you're making breakfast patties. So that's what I'm going to do, but sometimes I use ground beef and ground pork in a recipe at the same time. I could have used that in my cabbage rolls or meatloaf or just different things. You just never know. It's a good supplement. We're not big pork eaters on the regular, but that's what was on sale this week. And being a big family, we're kind of frugal. Like we take advantage of sales. That's what you got to do. We try to eat real food. We don't like a whole lot of processed stuff. And yeah, if you were to go buy ground pork here at our stores, it's crazy expensive. What I should have checked the prices before doing this video. Maze, get going, please. But I'd be paying probably 3 or 4 times more than what I paid for these roasts. Now this roast over here is $9.30. I think the other one was $8 and some. That's not too bad, and they're big roasts. So I'm going to cut up this other one, and I'll be back. Okay, the kids just got home from school and I'm about to do this. It's gonna get loud, so I'm not gonna be talking. And usually when I do this, I end up putting the blade in the wrong way and I'll have to stop it and switch it around. It's just, I'm not sure exactly which way. The picture doesn't really show it really well, so fingers crossed I did it right the first time. So here we go. I'm busy right now. I don't know what you're saying. No, you're not feeling, no, not today. Well, mates. All right, guys, now we're all done, the grinding part. And I just like to calibrate my scale to make sure it's on 0. Is that too close for you guys? That's good. So I take one of my bags and I just put it on the scale. And like I say, I try to do it to 2-pound bags, and then I flatten them out, try to push all the air out of it. If I was smart, I would use my food saver, but I don't keep the meat that long, so there's no sense in hauling that out. Just a little bit more. Just a tiny smidge. That's good. Let's see if you guys can see that. Well, it's at 2. So that's one bag. Oh, let me get another one. Yeah, so a 2-pound thing of meat at the grocery store, you're looking at, the last time I checked, like $7-8. Crazy. And you don't get, well, yeah, minimum $7-8, I think, maybe even more. And yeah, we could afford it, but then we'd be dipping into our other funds that are for other things for our family. So we economize. Yeah, we bought this grinder, but this is going to last us for years. I have to do this. I did pork probably last month, and I did a big whack of it. So I wasn't planning on doing pork today when I stopped to the grocery store, but it was a good sale. And we just had family over not long ago, and I used up some of my pork, which I certainly don't mind. That's what it's there for, especially for my family. I love my family. And I just want to replenish it. I got a big deep freezer out in the porch, and I just want to replenish it. Yeah, I think this will take just 3 bags, so 6 pounds. sticks in a little bit of pounds. Yeah, it's used for lots of different things. Yeah, roast pork's good too, but I find this stretches it because one of these, it's 2 pounds of pork. It doesn't seem like a whole bunch, but that makes quite a few sausage patties, at least 10 to 12 sausage patties, because this isn't really dense meat. I'm going to take this off. Big part of grinding meat too is the cleanup. I consider this all of the process, and I do it all at once. It's not fun to clean up a meat grinder, but once it's done, I put it right back in the box, and I put it right back where I got it, out in my laundry room / pantry for another month or two, and it's good to go. This meat grinder came with a couple of different plates. I don't want to waste any little bit of meat, just a tiny bit. But you can see this is like the medium one. There's one that's even smaller and one that's bigger. I just want the medium. So this is what my problem was. Like I say, folks, I wipe this down thoroughly with antibacterial and soap and water and stuff, because I don't want any unga-bungas growing on my stuff. I don't even put it in the dishwasher. I wash it by hand. Put a little drop of bleach in there with some soap. I spray this with bleach solution. And this is the thing that I was saying, I always put in wrong. I'll try to clean some of that meat off. Because I guess one kind of pushes it and one pulls it, or I don't know. Oftentimes today I looked like I knew what I was doing. I worked right off the bat. But I don't know if it goes in that way or that way. Lucked out today. So yeah, there's nothing left in there. So now I'm going to take this glove off. I'll just do one bag so you can see. I know I use gloves when I'm dealing with meat, but this is cleanup, and this is different. I'm not eating what I'm cleaning up, so I don't mind touching the meat grinder stuff with my bare hands after. So I zip it almost to the very end. There's a little, you see that? I don't know if you can. Oh, I must have sealed it all the way. Just a little bit. And I flatten it out. And this takes 2 shakes of lamb's tail to defrost. And when I make the sausage patties, the first time I did it, this cooks faster than chicken or anything. It just fries up so fast. Faster than bacon. No joke. There. So I'm going to have 3 of these suckers. I'll stack them in my deep freeze, one on top of the other. And yeah, we'll be ready for a nice breakfast in the morning, or supper for breakfast, or any time of day. So yeah, I'm going to clean up this mess and I'll be back. Okay guys, that's it for the meat grinding video. So I got 3 2-pound bags of pork. I have the 2 pork bones. I'm just going to throw up in the freezer, the deep freeze, and I'll save these for a day that I'm doing a roast or something. I'll throw these in a pan with some onions, season the heck out of it with lots of spices, and some vegetables, and get all the drippings. I can make a stock, I can make a gravy, and whether I use it that night or not, I can throw that up in the freezer. It's all good. If you're not going to use it, throw it in your compost. It just goes back into the earth, and it's a good thing to do. So yeah, please comment down below and let me know if you like this video, or if there's anything else you'd like to see me make or bake. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So yeah, Tracy from Nova Scotia Living signing off. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.